Yes? What do you want to know? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? Good, yes.
So desperately mundane. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is a security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just here. They didn't identify themselves in any way. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of...
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. You mean like a brief? Do you want me to... 3 days ago, during that, a security guard. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM. Just to be clear, we are police... Good. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. If you insist. What do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insula.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and no.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, Detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of your...
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
I can't say that it does.
The lieutenant produces... We all have our... You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this. But you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they?
You could use a good, normal peer yourself.
Good. Let's change the subject.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine The metal feels cold and wet under your palm.
Probably some kids.
A thick layer of graffito cover. That's Kuno on the left. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies. You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach. This coin-operated viewer is faced. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty? Your money disappears into the curtains on the display open. The lenses shift. The ghost sharp. It looks as if it was a bad...
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out. Really?
A sturdy metal door. The door rattles against your knuckle. The door rattles again.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting... The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No. I already... Go check the backyard door.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Madame, I assure you.
There is no reply.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rush.
The streets will not flow red with anything.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the... Sod off, pig man. Art is above the law. Can't you tell? This place is severely... I thought I'd mix it up. You know. Have you ever tried your hand at We rarely see...
Realistic. What?
You heard your partner, Piggy. I ain't no snitch, Pigstein.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who...
We weren't put on this earth to make your... Watch your...
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the... Beaton, my maiden name. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my... What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild...
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely...
The Pines' core competency is logistics. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, Son-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Bright.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. 20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000?
She nods.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice...
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The unions... Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. Let's say I was not making the kind...
And when did you?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February.
But the strike began in...
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare.
This isn't the first time the union has...
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions.
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines Group makes a decision, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of what... I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates.
This checks out.
Mr. Clare told him to... fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more... Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with... Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Ev. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. Organized labor at its best, as they say.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing... And your opinion, detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2... I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't downright haunting, if you ask me. The point of the presentation is...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have in... And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he...
How curious. Why is that, detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. So, I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Of course. But before we do, officers, the situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business...
Is what you want to say. Look at that lady. Take a gander. Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green ring, while dull orange... These are the kind eyes of the rich within reason. Now look at you. You misery... You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... Shame?
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. Of course, Detective.
Shame. Whining about your back every time you...
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please.
I'm trying to, but you keep...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No, God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every... The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth. Already, your muscles are adjusting to the weight. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand, an embodiment of pure motion. A whorehouse of shit. It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot.
What the hell is your problem? You vandalized our game, son. We can't play petanque with 5 pool. It isn't. It's petanque. You
Take it easy, René. This is just...
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You are as a goddamn bull. Good. Mistakes are forgiven. And men at least try to right.
Yes. Why did you come here?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, in Martinez, the union is the law. Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better...
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. I know the kind.
Oh, René. If you only knew life beyond confrontation...
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar... Yes. It was left by... Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country. Execute your supreme... Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose... Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought value, should have fought dirty.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Yes, the military Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revesh. This here is blood ground.
Blood ground. You got...
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those... Damn right, son. They let the fire the rest of the...
Well, it's your own damn fault.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
No, they don't. But I'm sorry it had to be the coward. I would have preferred if they... Instead, this is just what the commies want. Damn Frissel. He was a king we couldn't protect.
He slouches as he says that.
A true king in both blood and mind. Led Revachol before Frissel.
Some manner of self-deceit is present.
The suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and...
I have really...
Yes, that...
René. Hello, officer. Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and... No, officers.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union.
He means...
I wish I could, but I just don't know how...
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying.
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you... Everyone in Martinez knows the Claire...
What do you know about history?
The old soldier mumbles. There he stands.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He doesn't know anything.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I hate this socialist rabble.
Writing work mostly. Oh, nothing official.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Officer, I have...
He just...
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any...
I believe everyone has the...
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time. I'm sorry, officer, but
The only one you have.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
This Post Lavantore mail collection box has been... The box seems eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow. Before you stands a motor vapor emanates. This must be the infernal machine. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, the frequency tableau, the soft purr.
This is Precinct 57.
Hello, Alice. Please.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is...
Received.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly...
Officer, I have Sylvie Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out.
No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people don't have the money to have the cables put in again.
So the Union has a phone.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The Union would get... You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here. I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble. Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly,
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry. Trust me. No, you're the guy. What misogyny You have to act. Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love? You're just a gimp.
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5.
The man uses relay code. You've got the
10-4, message received. 10-5. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This...
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and...
He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at
He's asking you to stop. Says this is...
Of course it's serious. He lost his...
Satellite Officer Dietmar concurs. Losing your badge is serious. Over. 10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen.
What's going on?
Super cop here.
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Soap.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson wants to know it.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
lying over the phone.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even... Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance. Over. 10-4, I hear you.
What does he want?
He's asking for...
Is he...
I don't think...
Don't give that asshole anything.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's...
He isn't getting a...
Request denied, sir. Over. He says he's in...
Well, I guess it better...
Vicmar said... He said... It's okay.
What did he say?
Did you want anything else, sir? Many of your...
He's trying to keep you from further embarrassing yourself in front of your colleagues.
Let us address them now, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going...
He's clearly a little protected. The pry bar feels nice and cold and useful for opening balls. The handles are long and sleek. It's robust. With preheated as you tap on the gauge.
There's no use pressing the heat button.
Translation. Alternative translation. The white suede feels luxuriant.
It's not often that I see officers from the RC. What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector.
I haven't had any problems myself.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me
entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts. My apologies, officer.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course. Let me have a look. Another time, perhaps. I doubt it. I do my best to keep my
He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing color.
Sure thing. Sure, man.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among us. The light pole. This would make quite a statement in your...
Yes.
His manner is casual.
It was brought...
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. This set of soldiers...
You're probably talking about... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. I don't like either.
Big men on big horses, clad.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
They're not all blue. These figurines...
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got...
Which ones? Ah, royalists.
G'day to you.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an...
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like... Too bad it also takes a year and a... Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned... Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing. Want some too, off?
Why not?
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the... Whatever it is, goat milk butter. It's an acquired taste. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, The cause was probably a motor vehicle.
What the hell?
Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was... The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted. The panel served as a takeoff. The vehicle soared through the air. The sign broke the Salmon and Butter billboard within the past 72 hours. Still speeding, the vehicle made a... There are two good candidates. The Caprice 40, it's about the right size. And the tire marks look... The Caprice 40 is a very popular model with bank clerks, very sturdy but light motor. The Lean Air G22 is not, but you'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looks on.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. We're not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder?
You've thought of a very touching story. It's shit though. Nope, you're already telling it. Yes. No, it's shit.
Yes, that could very well have been it. Now let's move on. If we must.
There's a pile of cheap...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest style.
Abort. These are hideous.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega...
They're perfect for concealing your blood. It's going to be very difficult for any...
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Those UV stickers are all...
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe. Oh, very interesting.
This is how a sea monster sees the world.
Wow, officer. And they can be yours for a...
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
There are clothes.
Don't be shy.
Save the economy.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Look around. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? Too bad, officer. Kids may...
You find your...
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand.
Something cold grazes your hand.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
A simple little cadence. He's seen
from another planet. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the aged. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo. Feels like forever. Like
mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak. Or
Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. So tell me, what do you need? It's like, whatever's going on over at the dock. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. I've heard talk there's a company. They want to keep that money flowing in, my man.
he doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side.
Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Not my thing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasure? He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to...
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Psychological condition of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically.
Don't be a stranger.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Why? I just...
Ah.